Hello class, today I'm going to be showing you the Sketchbook app on the iPads and show you some helpful tools and tips and tricks for how to use the app. On your iPad screen you will notice a Sketchbook app. It looks like an orange box with a pencil. You can go ahead and click on it to open it up and it will open you to your screen. First of all, if you are trying to open up a project that you have previously started, in the upper left-hand corner, you will see like a little box with some dots and lines on it. You can go to your gallery. You can save a project to your gallery. You can import or export your project from here as well. Oops. Or you can also start a new sketch altogether. So that's in the upper left-hand corner. Another thing you'll notice is that your paper or your screen fills up the whole entire space. If you want to make it smaller, you can use any two fingers to pinch and zoom in and out to make that smaller. You can rotate it as well. Again, I can use two separate hands and pinch as well. Okay. The first thing I'm going to show you is your brushes, and you will notice that your brush tools are all over here on the left hand side. There's a couple of different ways you can access your different brushes. So first, if you just click on your brush, so I just clicked on the brush and then go up to the top where there's like a bar and some boxes, you'll notice there's a whole bunch of different types of brushes, more so than what you can see initially on your screen. So you might want to take a minute to kind of just look at all your brushes. You'll see a preview of what the brush looks like, and then if you go to the right of that, this is where you can adjust some of the things. So different brushes will have different things that you can adjust if you want to make the size of it bigger or smaller. Another place that you can adjust your brushes is over here in this little window. You'll notice there you'll have the same options. So I would suggest that you practice a few of the different brushes and see what they can do. You might want to try clicking on the brush adjustments to see like what adjustments you can make besides just adjusting the size. Some of them will allow you to adjust like the opacity of the brush, how persistent, the blending, the flow. So again, each brush will have its own kind of unique features that you can adjust and work on. So I would pause the video now, test out some of the brushes, test out changing some of their adjustments, and meet me back and we'll go through the next tool. All right, hopefully you were able to test out a few different brushes. Now I want to clear my screen. There's a couple different ways you can do that. If you two-finger tap, it will undo things. So you can undo there. There's also an undo and redo button at the top of your screen. The other thing you can do is on the right-hand side, there is a layers panel. If you click on the layer that you are currently working on, there should be a clear button. So that is going to clear your entire screen. The next tool I'm going to show you is the symmetrical tool or the symmetry tool. And what this will allow you to do is draw something in symmetry. So if you draw it on one side, it is going to perfectly replicate that on the other side. So after I clicked on that symmetry tool, there are some other options that popped up. So this is just going to change the way that you draw things and the way that it is drawn. You can have multiple of these selected at once. Radial, you can change the section, so if you want there to be even more. It's kind of fun, so I would maybe take a minute and just try out that symmetry tool. Again, go ahead and pause the video, give out that tool a try changing the different sections that you can use. And then again, I will meet you back here. Okay, hopefully you were able to give that tool a try. Go ahead and clear off that layer that you've been working on. The next tool I'm going to show you is the shape tool. So next to that symmetry tool, there are some different shapes. You can draw a straight line, circle, or a square. You'll also notice that when you go to draw, it will also match the style of whatever brush you are choosing. So if I wanted to draw an oval or a circle, it will match whatever brush I have selected. Another thing I'm going to show you here, once I have the shapes, you can use the fill tool, which is like a little paint bucket up at the top. And you'll have some different options. So there's a fill, and then there's a couple different gradients. With the fill, so solid fill, you can change whatever color you want. So there's a little color picker tool that will kind of automatically pop up as you're working. Also, underneath your layers, there is some different color options there as well. So you'll pick your color, and then if you tap inside the shape, it will fill it for you. You'll notice though, with some of the different brushes, if it is very transparent or it's really light and there's going to be some spaces and gaps in your shape, it will not fill it in. So you'll want to make sure that the area that you're trying to fill in is a solid enclosed shape. With the gradients, you can fill that in. Oh, mine wasn't enclosed, so I'm going to fill in a different area. And then you'll notice that there's some different colors. If I click on each individual color, I can change it from there. So if I want to adjust parts of my gradient, I need to click on each of those squares individually. I can click and drag to adjust my gradient as well and make it go in different directions and things like that. So I would pause the video again, make a couple of different shapes with the shape tool, and then use that fill bucket. Practice using solid colors as well as gradients. All right, guys, I am going to show you just a couple more tools. The next one I'm going to show you is the selection tool. So that's going to be over by your undo and redo buttons. There's like a little dash box with an arrow pointing. These are all of your different ways that you can select something. So you can use a lasso tool. That's going to be kind of freehand. But you'll notice, like, as I was selecting it, it kind of makes it as it stays as a whole shape. Another tool is just like the rectangle. So as you're selecting something, it'll just keep it rectangular. Then there is the magic wand, which if you click on something, it'll automatically kind of select it for you. I really like to use the rectangular tool to select things. So let's say I want to select this area of my drawing. Then I can click right next to that with all the arrows pointing in different directions, and I can now transform just that section. So if I want to move it, I can. Let's say I want to like skew it or adjust it. That's going to be there. You can nudge it just a little tiny bit at a time. So if you just want to select an area and move it a little tiny bit, you can flip it vertically or horizontally. You can rotate something as well. So all of that is going to be with the transform and the selection tools. So go ahead and pause the video. One last tool there to try out. Try selecting something and then moving it with the transform tool. All right, the last thing we're going to talk about here is your layers. So over on the right hand side again, you'll see your layers. During your individual practice, you will have to practice creating multiple layers and using multiple brushes. How I kind of like to use layers is I like to start with my bottom layer with a rough sketch of whatever I'm going to be creating. So if I were to draw like a face, I can create a sketch, and I don't necessarily have to worry about making things perfect at this point. I like to use like a pencil or a pen because that is going to look mostly like a sketch. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that. Just making it light and sketchy. If I click on that same layer, I can adjust the opacity. So I'm gonna like lower that down just a little bit. And then I'm gonna create a new layer. So what this is gonna allow me to do is still see the layer that is below it, but maybe now I wanna use a different tool and I want to start making it a little bit more finalized. So maybe I'm gonna zoom in and specifically focus on the eye. So now I can work slower, try to make my lines more straight and even, and start to finalize that. So maybe on this layer, I'm just going to draw the eyes. And then I want to create a new layer, and this time I'm going to have just the nose. Having details on individual layers will be super helpful as you start to build up your design. If you wanted to go back and erase something, you only have to erase it on that particular layer, and you don't have to necessarily worry about editing or messing up something else that you have already started. Oops. So that's kind of how layers will work. Again, you can always clear a layer. So if you want to start over again, you can clear it. You can delete the layer. If you want to merge it with a layer that is below it, you can merge it down. So now my nose and my mouth are together all on one layer. But I would practice making a couple different layers, giving that a try out some different brushes. And this will be kind of the last bit of your practice today.